Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, which is Explore Yourselves, Banking and General Knowledge, etc. Jai Hind, your daily boost. Tithi, Nakshatra, and important anniversaries. A spiritual and historical insight of 13th March 2025, Thursday, Bengali date 28 Falgun 1431. As per Benimadov Ponjika, today's Tithi is Shukla Chaturdashi and up to 1024 hours, and after that Purnima. Today is Nakshatra, Morga Nakshatra, and up to 0419 hours, and after that Purva Phalguni Nakshatra. Today is 72nd day of the year. There are then 293 days left in 2025. Today is 11th Thursday of 2025. Today is Choti Holi, that Holika Dahan. According to Hindu scriptures, Holika Dahan, which is also known as Holika Deepak or Choti Holi, should be done during Pradoshkal, which starts after sunset, while Purnimasi Tithi is prevailing. Bhadra prevails during first half of Purnimasi Tithi, and all good work should be avoided when Bhadra prevails. Holika Dahan Muhurta is decided based on following rules. The first preference to get Holika Dahan Muhurta is during Pradosh, while Purnimasi Tithi is prevailing and Bhadra is over. If Bhadra prevails during Pradosh but it ends before midnight, then Holika Dahan should be done after Bhadra is over. If Bhadra is getting over after midnight, then only Holika Dahan should be done in Bhadra and preferably during Bhadra Punchu. However, one should avoid Bhadra Mukha, and in no condition Holika Dahan should be done in Bhadra Mukha. Doing so brings bad luck for the whole year, not only for individuals but for whole city and country. Many times Bhadra Punjo is not available between Pradosh and midnight. In such situations, one should do Holika Dahan during Pradosh. In rare occasions, when neither Pradosh nor Bhadra Punjo is available, then one should do Holika Dahan after Pradosh. Today is Attukal Pongala. Attukal Pongala is a famous Malayalam festival celebrated annually at Attukal Bhagavati temple. It is a 10-day event commencing on the Kartigai star of the Malayalam month of Makaram or Kumbham and closing with the sacrificial offering known as Kurutithar Panam at night. On the ninth day of the festival, the world famous Attukal Pongala Mahotsavam takes place. Today is International Wrestling Day. International Wrestling Day is celebrated annually on March 13th to honor wrestling, one of the world's most versatile and beloved white wine grape varieties. This day was established by the Riesling community, including winemakers and wine enthusiasts, to highlight the rich history and unique characteristics of Riesling, which originates from Germany. Known for its aromatic profile, crisp acidity, and ability to range from dry to sweet, Riesling is grown in many wine regions worldwide, including Germany, France, Alsace, Austria, Australia, and the United States. The day encourages wine lovers to explore and appreciate Riesling's diverse flavors and food pairings. Today is National Good Samaritan Day. National Good Samaritan Day is observed annually on March 13th to encourage acts of kindness and selflessness. The day is inspired by the biblical parable of the Good Samaritan and serves as a reminder to help those in need without expecting anything in return. It also honors the memory of Catherine Kitty Genovese, who was tragically murdered in 1964, prompting discussions on bystander intervention and the importance of helping others. On this day, people are encouraged to perform good deeds, assist strangers, and spread compassion in their communities. Today is L. Ron Hubbard Day. L. Ron Hubbard Day is observed on March 13th to commemorate the birth of Lafayette Ronald Hubbard, 1911 to 1986, the founder of Scientology, and a prolific writer of science fiction, fantasy, and philosophical works. Recognized by Scientology followers, the day celebrates his contributions to literature, philosophy, and the development of dialectics. Various events, including discussions, readings, and tributes, are held by Scientology organizations worldwide to honor his legacy. While Hubbard remains a controversial figure, his influence on modern spiritual movements and science fiction literature continues to spark discussions globally. Today is National Jewel Day. National Jewel Day is celebrated annually on March 13th to appreciate the beauty, craftsmanship, and significance of jewelry. This day honors the artisans who create stunning pieces as well as the sentimental and cultural value that jewels hold in people's lives. Whether it's a dazzling diamond, a precious gemstone, or a cherished heirloom, National Jewel Day is the perfect occasion to wear, gift, or learn about different types of jewelry. It also encourages people to support jewelers, explore unique designs, and celebrate the timeless elegance of fine jewelry. Today is National Open and Umbrella Indoors Day. National Open and Umbrella Indoors Day is observed annually on March 13th as a playful challenge to the old superstition and that opening an umbrella indoors brings bad luck. Created by Thomas Edward Neve in 2003, this day encourages people to test the myth and see if any misfortune follows. It also serves as a fun way to explore cultural superstitions and spark conversations about old beliefs. Whether taken as a light-hearted experiment or just an excuse to appreciate umbrellas, the day invites curiosity and a bit of mischief. Today is National Coconut Torte Day. National Coconut Torte Day is celebrated annually on March 13th to honor the delicious and rich dessert made with layers of cake, coconut, and creamy fillings. A coconut torte is often decadent treat featuring shredded coconut, buttercream, and sometimes chocolate or fruit flavors. This day is perfect for baking enthusiasts and coconut lovers to indulge in this sweet delight, whether by making a homemade version or enjoying a slice from a bakery. It's a great excuse to savor the tropical taste of coconut in a luxurious dessert. Today is National Earmuff Day. National Earmuff Day is celebrated annually on March 13th to honor the invention of earmuffs, a cozy and practical accessory for cold weather. The day recognizes Chester Greenwood, who invented earmuffs in 1873 at just 15 years old in Farmington, Maine. His creation helped protect ears from harsh winters and eventually led to a booming industry. National Earmuff Day is a fun occasion to appreciate this simple yet effective invention, especially in chilly regions, and to celebrate innovation and ingenuity in everyday life. Today is Intrauterine Growth Restriction IUGR Awareness Day. Intrauterine Growth Restriction Awareness Day is observed annually on March 13th to raise awareness about IUGR, a condition where a baby does not grow at the expected rate during pregnancy. IUGR can lead to serious health complications, including low birth weight, developmental delays, and increased risks at birth. The day emphasizes the importance of early detection, parental care, prenatal care, and medical advancements to improve outcomes for affected infants. It also supports parents and families by spreading knowledge about risk factors, prevention strategies, and available treatments. Today is International Every Girl Wins Day. International Every Girl Wins Day is observed annually on March 13th to promote gender equality, empowerment, and opportunity for girls and women worldwide. The day focuses on advocating for education, leadership, and economic independence for girls, ensuring they have the resources and support to achieve their dreams. It serves as a reminder of the importance of breaking barriers, uplifting young girls, and fostering a world where every girl has the chance to succeed. Organizations and communities celebrate the day through events, mentorship programs, and initiatives that encourage female empowerment. Today is World Kidney Day. World Kidney Day is observed annually on the second Thursday of March to raise awareness about kidney health and the importance of preventive measures to reduce the risk of kidney diseases. It is a global initiative jointly organized by the International Society of Nephrology and the International Federation of Kidney Foundations. The day highlights the impact of kidney-related conditions, promotes early detection, and encourages healthy lifestyle choices such as proper hydration, balanced diet, and regular medical checkups. It also emphasizes the need for better access to kidney care worldwide, especially for vulnerable populations. Today is Popcorn Lovers Day. Popcorn Lovers Day is celebrated on the second Thursday of March each year, honoring one of the world's most beloved and versatile snacks. This fun food holiday is dedicated to popcorn enthusiasts who enjoy it in various forms, whether buttery, cheesy, or caramel coated or spiced. Popcorn has been enjoyed for thousands of years, with its origins tracing back to ancient civilizations like the Aztecs. The day encourages people to share and experiment with different popcorn flavors, making it a perfect occasion for movie nights, parties, or just indulging in a tasty, guilt-free treat. Today is International School Meals Day. International School Meals Day is observed annually on the second Thursday of March to highlight the importance of nutritious school meals in promoting children's health, education, and well-being. The day fosters global discussions on food security, healthy eating habits, and the impact of school meal programs in supporting students, especially in low-income communities. It also encourages collaboration between schools, policymakers, and organizations to improve access to balanced meals and address child hunger. Schools and communities worldwide mark the day with activities that promote nutrition awareness and celebrate the role of second school meals in shaping a brighter future for children. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Jatindra Charan Gobor Guho, 13th March 1892 to 2nd January 1972. Jatindra Charan Guho, popularly known by his ring name Gobor Guho, was an Indian professional wrestler trained in Pehlwani wrestling. Guho spent most of his career wrestling internationally, defeating champion wrestlers Vladek Jevisko, Renato Gardini at Santel, and Joe Stretcher. By defeating Santel, he became the first Asian to win a World Wrestling Championship in the United States. Today is death anniversary of Mr. Dinesh Das, 16 September 1913 to 13th March 1985. Dinesh Das was a Bengali poet and communist activist. He was born in his maternal home at Chetla in Alipur, a locality on the bank of Adiganga Creek in a Mahissa family. His father was Rishikesh Das. When he was in class 9, at around 15 years old, he became involved in secret revolutionary Indian independence movement. He also became involved in Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi's Salt Satyagraha movement, which hampered his formal education. However, he passed matriculation examination in 1930 and IA in 1932 from the South Suburban College, now Asutosh College. In 1933, he was admitted to BA in Scottish Church College. In 1934, first poem Sravoni was published in Desh. However, he could not complete his BA due to his revolutionary and literary activities. In 1935, he took a job at Khayerbari Tea Estate and moved to Kurseong. There he became disillusioned with Gandhism, and on return to Calcutta next year, he became inspired by communism and read writings of Karl Marx, Friedrich Engels, and Ralph Fox. In 1937, he created a stir with his poem Koste Sickle. He immortalized Kolkata's live street in one of his poems. Here in 100 snake-like veins, streams of people come and go. Through these shrunken veins, the blood of the country must flow. O mighty city's beating heart, O clive street of Bengal, a thousand dumb veins reach to make the cornerstone of your high hall. Today is death anniversary of Miss Susan B. Anthony, 15th February 1820 to 13th March 1906. Susan B. Anthony was an American social reformer and women's rights activist who played a pivotal role in the women's suffrage movement. Born into a Quaker family committed to social equality, she collected anti-slavery petitions at the age of 17. In 1856, she became the New York state agent for the American Anti-Slavery Society. In 1851, she met Elizabeth Cady Stanton, who became her lifelong friend and co-worker in social reform activities. Primarily in the field of women's rights, together they founded the New York Women's State Temperance Society. After Anthony was prevented from speaking at a temperance conference because she was female. During the Civil War, they founded the Women's Loyal National League, which conducted the largest petition drive in United States history up to that time, collecting nearly 4 lakh signatures in support of the abolition of slavery. After the war, they initiated the American Equal Rights Association, which campaigned for equal rights for both women and African Americans. They began publishing a women's rights newspaper in 1868 called The Revolution. A year later, they founded the National Women's Suffrage Association as part of a split in the women's movement. The split was formally healed in 1890 when their organization merged with the rival American Women's Suffrage Association to form the National American Women's Suffrage Association, with Anthony as its key force. Anthony and Stanton began working with Matilda Jocelyn Gage in 1876 on what eventually grew into the six-volume history of women's suffrage. The interests of Anthony and Stanton diverged somewhat in later years, but the two remained close friends. In 1872, Anthony was arrested in her hometown of Rochester, New York, for voting in violation of laws that allowed only men to vote. She was convicted in a widely publicized trial. Although she refused to pay the fine, the authorities declined to take further action. In 1878, Anthony and Stanton arranged for Congress to be presented with an amendment giving women the right to vote, introduced by Senator Aaron A. Sargent, in later became known colloquially as the Susan B. Anthony Amendment. It was eventually ratified as the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution in 1920. Anthony traveled extensively in support of women's suffrage, giving as many as 75 to 100 speeches per year and working on many state campaigns. She worked internationally for women's rights, playing a key role in creating the International Council of Women, which is still active. She also helped to bring about the World's Congress of Representatives Women at the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago in 1893. When she first began campaigning for women's rights, Anthony was harshly ridiculed and accused of trying to destroy the institution of marriage. Public perception of her changed radically during her lifetime. However, her 80th birthday was celebrated in the White House at the invitation of President William McKinley. She became the first female citizen to be depicted on US coinage when her portrait appeared on the 1979 dollar coin. Today is date anniversary of Mr. Ivo Enrich, 10th October 1892 to 13th March 1975. Ivo Enrich was a Yugoslav novelist, poet, and short story writer who won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1961. His writings dealt mainly with life in his native Bosnia under Ottoman rule. Born in Travnik in Austria-Hungary, modern-day Bosnia and Herzegovina, Enrich attended high school in Sarajevo, where he became an active member of several South Slavs national youth organizations. Following the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in June 1914, Enrich was arrested and imprisoned by the Austro-Hungarian police, who suspected his involvement in the plot. As the authorities were unable to build a strong case against him, he spent much of the war under a house arrest, only being released following a general amnesty for such cases in July 1917. After the war, he studied South Slavic history and literature at universities in Zagreb and Graz, eventually attending his PhD in Graz in 1924. He worked in the diplomatic service of the Kingdom of Yugoslavia from 1920 to 1923 and again from 1924 to 1941. In 1939, he became Yugoslavia's ambassador to Germany, but his tenure ended in April 1941 with the German-led invasion of his country. Shortly after the invasion, Enrich returned to German-occupied Belgrade. He lived quietly in a friend's apartment for the duration of World War II, in conditions likened by some biographers to house arrest, and wrote some of his most important works, including Na Drini Kaprija, The Bridge on the Drina. Following the war, Enrique was named to a number of ceremonial posts in Yugoslavia, which had since come under communist rule. In 1961, the Nobel Committee awarded him the Nobel Prize in Literature, selecting him over writers such as J.R.R. Tolkien, Robert Frost, John Steinbeck, and E.M. Forster. The committee cited the epic force with which he expressed themes and depicted human destinies drawn from his country's history. Afterwards, Enrich's works found an international audience and were translated into a number of languages. In subsequent years, he received a number of awards in his native country. Enrich's health declined substantially in late 1974 and he died in Belgrade the following March. In the years following Enrich's death, the Belgrade apartment where he spent much of World War II was converted into a museum and a nearby street corner was named in his honor. A number of other cities in the former Yugoslavia also have streets bearing his name. In 2012, filmmaker Emil Kusturica began construction of an ethno town in eastern Bosnia that is named after Enrique. As Yugoslavia's only Nobel Prize winning writer, Enrique was well known and respected in his native country during his lifetime. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, beginning in the 1950s, and continuing past the breakup of Yugoslavia, his works have been disparaged by Bosniak literary critics for their supposed anti-Muslim bias. In Croatia, his works had occasionally been blacklisted following Yugoslavia's dissolution in the 1990s, but were rehabilitated by the literary community. He is highly regarded in Serbia for his contributions to Serbian literature. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Lafayette Ronald Hubbard, 13th March 1911 to 24th January 1986. Lafayette Ronald Hubbard was an American author and the founder of Scientology, a prolific writer of pulp science, fiction, and fantasy novels in his early career. In 1950, he authored Dianetics, the modern science of mental health, and established organizations to promote and practice Dianetics techniques. Hubbard created Scientology in 1952 after losing the intellectual rights to his literature on Dianetics in bankruptcy. He would lead the Church of Scientology, variously described as a cult, a new religious movement, or a business, until his death in 1986. Born in Tilden, Nebraska in 1911, Howard spent much of his childhood in Helena, Montana. While his father was posted to the US Naval Base on Guam in the late 1920s, Hubbard traveled to Asia and the South Pacific. In 1930, Hubbard enrolled at George Washington University to study civil engineering but dropped out in his second year. He began his career as an author of pulp fiction and married Margaret Grove, who shared his interest in aviation. Hubbard was an officer in the Navy during World War II, where he briefly commanded two ships but was removed from command both times. The last few months of his active service were spent in hospital, being treated for a variety of complaints. In 1953, the first churches of Scientology were founded by Howard. In 1954, a Scientology church in Los Angeles was founded, which became the Church of Scientology International. Howard added organizational management strategies, principles of pedagogy, and theory of communication and prevention strategies for healthy living to the teachings of Scientology. As Scientology came under increasing media attention and legal pressure in a number of countries during the late 1960s and early 1970s, Hubbard spent much of his time at sea as Commodore of the Sea Organization, a private quasi-paramilitary Scientologist fleet. Hobart returned to the United States in 1975 and went into seclusion in the California desert after an unsuccessful attempt to take over the town of Clearwater, Florida. In 1978, Hobart was convicted of fraud in absentia by France. In the same year, 11th high-ranking members of Scientology were indicted on 28 charges for their role in the church's Snow White program, a systematic program of espionage against the United States government. One of the indicted was Hubbard's wife Mary Sue Hubbard. He himself was named an unindicted co-conspirator. Hubbard spent the remaining years of his life in seclusion, attended to by a small group of Scientology officials. Following his 1986 death, Scientology leaders announced that Hubbard's body had become an impediment to his work and that he had decided to drop his body to continue his research on another plane of existence. The Church of Scientology describes Hubbard in hagiographic terms, though many of his autobiographical statements were fictitious. Sociologist Stephen Kent has observed that Hubbard likely presented a personality disorder known as malignant narcissism. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. John Hasbrouck Van Vleck, 13th March 1899 to 27th October 1980. John Hasbrouck Van Vleck was an American physicist and mathematician, best known for his pioneering contributions to quantum mechanics, magnetism, and solid-state physics. He played a crucial role in developing quantum mechanical theories of magnetism and was instrumental in the advancement of crystal field theory, which explains the behavior of electrons in transition metal compounds. His work significantly impacted fields like condensed matter physics and spectroscopy. In recognition of his contributions, Van Vleck was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1977, along with Philip Anderson and Neville Mott for their theoretical research on electronic structure in magnetic and disordered systems. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. George Seferis, 13th March 1900 to 20th September 1971. George Seferis was a renowned Greek poet and diplomat, widely regarded as one of the most influential figures in modern Greek literature. His poetry, deeply rooted in Greek history, mythology, and existential themes, reflected the struggles of war, exile, and identity. His major works include Strophe, Mythistorema, and Gymnopedia, which blend symbolism with classical Greek influences. In 1963, he became the first Greek writer to receive the Nobel Prize in Literature, recognized for his profound and lyrical poetry. Beyond literature, he also served as a diplomat, playing an active role in Greece's foreign affairs. His legacy continues to inspire poets and scholars worldwide. Thank you very much for your patience. Request for like, share, and subscribe.